morning, friends, and welcome to the vlog. I obviously just woke up. I have been trying to sleep enough recently, but of course I kind of like tossed and turned last night, but we're not going to get into that. There's a couple things that I want to focus on this week. I want to finish my Read Your Gaze readathon TBR. I wasn't able to do that because I worked very weird hours this past weekend, and we were kind of it was very weird. Like, we weren't like super busy, but we were busy enough that I couldn't read the whole time, and then I had plans to go to like an art festival, and I didn't get it all done, but I still really want to read those books. So I'm going to be focusing on that over this week, and then hopefully able to finish up the few that I still have to read. Another thing that I'm going to be focusing on this week is making sure that I'm getting enough sleep. I want to really hone in on going to bed between 1 and 3 in the morning and getting up between 10 and 11, because that is enough. That's like 7 hours of sleep usually for me is enough to feel okay. And if I'm laying down around that time, that gives me anywhere from 8 to 9 hours to really get sleep. So that is what I'm focusing on this week. I just want to like set intention for the week for the vlogs going into it. If you follow me on Twitter, you will have noticed that my upload days have changed to Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Works better for my work schedule. Now obviously I'm still going to be uploading random videos on random days. I never only upload on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday normally, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday normally, but now that I'm uploading Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, it's gonna be a little bit different, like, because I tend to upload more than the 3 videos a week, so there will still be extra videos. No one's shocked by that. I've been doing this for 2 years now. Most people probably won't even notice. The only thing they're gonna notice is that the vlogs don't go up on Mondays anymore. So you're probably seeing this on a Tuesday. So other goals for today specifically though, I do want to get a good amount of reading done. I do want to play a good amount of video games. I just want to get a lot of relaxing in. I also need to finish organizing my office. I am trying to go through and like declutter a little bit. I put my office around. My desk used to be here, and then my bed used to be right here, but I flipped it for filming purposes. So, and for like just general ease of mind, I like switching things around for the season. It makes me feel like refreshed and better. So I'm going to be doing that today, and then I also need to go get my eyebrows threaded, because I've never gotten them threaded, but I've been growing them out in the hopes that somebody can make them look like good eyebrows. I've always had really big bushy eyebrows, but I am a child of the 90s, so I overplucked them, and now they are, I don't know, they got a mind. They have a mind of their own. A little bit of a reading update now that I've given you my whole intention for the vlog and for today specifically. I want to talk about what I'm reading. I just finished 10,000 Doors of January. I'll put a picture here for you guys. I fucking loved that book. I don't have it with me because I sent it off to a friend that I think is going to love it. I actually ended up annotating like there's like half of the book. The first part of the book is a little bit slower, but once the second half picked up, I just started annotating and like writing letters to my friend that I knew I was going to send it to. So I did send that to her yesterday, so I don't have it anymore, but it was fantastic. I will leave my review for it down below. And then the other books that I am reading are Red, White, and Royal Blue. I started this a couple of days ago. I started this on Sunday, and I'm on page 186. I did read a little bit of this last night before bed, and I think, oh my god, I can't. Alex is literally the funniest character I've ever seen in a book. Like, his wit and his charm and his like how he sasses back and like his relationship with Henry, I really enjoy that. If you're not familiar with what this book is about, Henry is a prince, like a royal prince, and Alex is the son of the president, and they are like sworn enemies, or at least Alex thinks they are. There's a little bit of an altercation at a wedding, and they are forced to then try to keep a public appearance, so they have to start hanging out. And then they do kind of develop a friendship by doing that, and then they do kind of develop a romance by doing that, and it's funny. It's funny, and it's cute, and it's heartfelt, and it's witty, and it's very good. I like it. I enjoy it a lot. I know there's a little bit of backlash, because I guess at one point in time in this book, Alex is outed as being bisexual, and it's used as a plot device, and people are getting really mad about that, and I understand that. It is annoying that it is a plot device in this book, but unfortunately it's also something that really does happen, so I can understand why. And then last night, being the pitiful little lady that I am, I was laying in bed and I was like being sad, and so I decided to pick up The Hating Game again. I read this like 2 months ago. I don't care. I'm reading it again. This is, let's see, I'm on page 39, chapter 4. This is a book that I genuinely love. This is one of my favorite books of all time. This follows our main character, Lucy, and the other character, Josh, and they hate each other, and they work for this company. It's like a publishing company, and they work for opposite owners of this publishing company. Two companies kind of merged together, and they have what they call the hating game. They try to be as mean as possible to each other just because simply Josh is a dick and Lucy is a little bit of a pushover. And she's a very nice person, and they work together and they are trying to apply for the same job within the company to then become each other's bosses. So that's mostly what the book follows, just their relationship. And if you're not familiar with this, they essentially just end up starting like hating each other and being forced to work together, and you can kind of tell where it's going. It is a Sally Thorne novel, so you can definitely tell where it's going to go, but I genuinely loved it, so I picked it up again because I wanted a feel-good book. Do I have like 14,000 other books I should be reading? Yeah, fucking absolutely. Am I rereading this again because I need a Josh Templeton? Yes, you would be correct. So that is what I'm reading. That is my goals for the week. I am going to get up, brush my teeth, grab something to eat, and then go get my eyebrows done. So when you see me, hopefully my eyebrows will be snatched. Probably not though, because I don't have that much to work with, and people who throw out eyebrows aren't miracle workers, unfortunately. But I'm gonna go get this taken care of. So I love you guys a lot, and I will see you in my next update. When I get home, I'm probably just gonna declutter stuff, and I might do some fast speed things with you guys so that you can kind of see what I'm doing, and then I might do a new bedroom / office tour. So that is going to be it. Oh, also, I took a lump. Look at my knee. Can you see my knee? Can you see it? No, you can't see it. Ugh, whatever. I have a huge cut on my knee because I put a screw through it basically yesterday, so I'll hobble around today while I try to get everything done. But yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit with another update. Bye. everyone, good morning. It is, yes, morning for me at 11:30. I stayed up too late again last night. I was playing Elder Scrolls Online. Yes, my hands are red. I re-dyed my hair. Please ignore that. I tried to paint my nails a color that wouldn't get ruined every time I washed my hair, because when I first dye my hair for a couple of washes after that, it does bleed a lot and it does dye, like stain my nails. So I did dye them like a red, but now I just look like I have awkward flesh hands. That's fine. But I wanted to sit down and close out the vlog. Today is Tuesday, so the day that you are seeing this is the day that I'm filming this update finally. I did read quite a bit, a lot for me. I haven't been reading a whole lot recently, so this was pretty good. I think the last time I updated you guys, I was reading Red, White, and Royal Blue and The Hating Game, and I know I didn't really update you in between, but I did try to insert some stuff that I did this weekend. I was feeling very blah, but also feeling really overwhelmed with like work and finances and figuring out like BookNet Fest, because I'm going to BookNet Fest and, you know, just like trying to plan everything and just keeping my head down and getting done what I need to get done. So I created like a budget and did a bunch of like planning stuff for a future like goals of mine, like moving into my own apartment and, you know, just things like that. So that took up a lot of my time, and when I wasn't doing that, I was so emotionally like in a way drained because I'd been so focused on it that I just played video games. So that is what I have been doing. But to talk about what I have read, I finished Red, White, and Royal Blue. I gave it 5 stars. I fucking love this book. This is hands down one of my favorite books of all time. I haven't reviewed it yet, and I don't know when I'm going to get around to reviewing it because I don't really know necessarily what to say, because there's a lot surrounding this when it comes to the fact that Alex is outed as bisexual and that is used as a plot device. But honestly, that didn't really bug me, but I feel like if I don't acknowledge that, then there's going to be some sort of backlash. But it didn't affect me, and as somebody who is bi or pan, it didn't really hurt my feelings, but I can understand the upset in the community, so I don't necessarily know how to rate this or how to review it. Rating it, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. It was fantastic. Henry and Alex are a wonderful couple. The story is very intriguing. A lot of people were bogged down by the political aspect of this. I was not. The political aspect of this I actually really enjoyed. So definitely a 5-star read. I think that it has amazing rep in it, fantastic characters. Like Alex literally makes me laugh out loud. Like their little relationship, I was dying. And like the golden trio that they have, like Alex and his sister and his friend, I just loved it. And there's so much heart to this as well. And I don't know, it just makes me really excited and like hopeful, and even though it is fiction, it makes me feel like there is some good out there, and especially as somebody who lives in the United States and sees a lot of the references that Alex makes to how the United States is. Also, there are so many great British Bake Off references in this book that I was literally dying. The next book that I am reading, that I started reading, I'm on page 132. I started reading this a couple of days ago, and it's Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I have mixed feelings on this book. So I have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson. I have tried to read Elantris and didn't really like it. My library hold was up. I needed to return it, so I just didn't recheck it back out later. However, I have just heard so many great things about his books and about his writing and how wonderful it is that this book seems a little lacking to me. I was reading a chapter, and in one chapter he said, he didn't say she let out a breath she didn't know she was holding, but he did say she let out a breath. More like he did it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, bro, find a different way to say that. Like, you've said the same thing a bunch of times, and it's a very simple writing, and it's very, I don't know, I think it's also linked to the type of character Spensa is. Our main character Spensa is daughter of a pilot who was shot down by other pilots because he is fleeing, or I'm assuming that's not what really happened, but was fleeing a battle, and from the Krell, which are these people who, or these aliens, I don't know if they're aliens or people, these beings that hunt her people because they are forced to land on this planet and basically set up smaller communities within the planet to hide from them to survive. And I just, for me, I think because of the type of character she is, she's very brass, she's very like abrasive in a way, because she has been excommunicated essentially because of what her father did. Like, her mom's not able to get a job, her grandma's not able to get a job because her father is a traitor and a coward. And so she lives a lot of her time in the caverns underneath their city, just, or next to their city. Everybody's kind of underground, but in these caverns that her father showed her, and she hunts rats for food and to be able to use them for trading. So she is a bit aloof and she is a bit abrasive. So when she does get into flight school, or even before that, she's often like, I will crush you, and like it was really weird for me. I think the story is pretty cool so far. There's definitely that element of like, there's a guy who basically gets her into flight school because she's kind of banned from being able to do it, but he is her father's like co-pilot essentially, and he gets her into this flight school. And I like that aspect because he's like that old, like kind of crotchety sort of funny mentor. So it's really cool, but I don't think that this book is as great as I wanted it to be. I mean, I'm only 130 pages in, and what I've heard about Brandon is he leaves like little breadcrumbs for you to find as you're reading the books. So I'm hoping I'll really start getting super invested in it, but right now, honestly, it's sitting at like a 3-star. I'm so sad to say that, and I think it's because this is one of those instances where hype for an author has really set me up, and I was expecting a lot, but then I also need to remember this is a YA book, and yes, while YA books can be complex and in-depth, they do not mirror like, I don't know, like really heavy fantasy book, like high fantasy books, and a lot of Brandon's stuff is high fantasy outside of the YA stuff that he writes. So this book is going to be a little bit simpler to read. The story is going to be a little bit simpler while, you know, still in depth in a way, and the writing is going to be a lot simpler. So I'm trying not to let that sway me from this book, but so far right now it's sitting at a 3-star, and I'm kind of really sad about that because I thought it was going to be like a 10-star. The other thing that I wanted to do really quickly before I wrap up this video is a while ago I asked you guys to ask me questions for a Q&A for the vlog. So that is what I am going to do really quickly. So the first question is there any place you've seen pictures or videos of online and really wanted to visit? It can be random, like a restaurant, landmark, specific bookstore, giant bottle of twine. I'll insert a picture here. I actually saw this on, there's a Twitter page that I follow, and it's these big caves, and I would love to visit them. They're like super open, and they have waterfalls, and you know, like people can camp in them. They're apparently the biggest caves in the world. I have never seen them before, and I don't know how, but I would love to visit these. If you won the lottery, what is the first utterly frivolous thing that you would purchase? So no cars, houses, investments, etc. I would buy a completely new wardrobe. I am a little bit confused about how to dress myself, and a lot of people say they like the way that I dress, but like it's mostly jeans and a t-shirt, or shorts and a t-shirt, and I really would love to buy just the most ridiculous wardrobe ever, like something completely tailored to me that I would absolutely be able to rock, that I would look really good in, that would fit me very well. I'm like really confused about like how to actually dress like my 2 arms and my legs. Next one is, if you could have any animal as a pet, which would you get? I would love a bear as a pet. I think that they're probably just like giant dogs in the fact that they're like super slobbery and like to tear shit up. But I love bears. Bears are my absolute favorite. Like my last name rhymes with bears, so I often go by Jess Bears on like a lot of social media stuff, and like and just like in normal everyday to day life. I just identify with them so much, and having grown up in Alaska and seeing how beautiful and majestic they are, and as like they're like protected there in a way, I think that they're just the most breathtaking, stunning animals on the planet. How are you, and what's the largest book you've read? I'm okay. I'm really tired. And the largest book I think I've read would have to be something by Stephen King. It's either, I think it might be Under the Dome or 11/22/63. Those are both giant books. I do own the unedited version of The Stand, and I do also own it, neither of which I have read. So I do need to get around to eventually reading those, and those will easily be the biggest books that I have read. If you could live anywhere else in the USA, where would you live? Anywhere else in the world. If I could live anywhere else in the world, it'd be Edinburgh. I think that it is beautiful there. I love the rainy weather. I love like the cobblestones. I would also want to live in Germany, like pretty much anywhere in Germany. It's like where my family's from, and I like the overall feel of it for some reason. And if I could live anywhere else in the US, I would live in Washington. I would live in upstate Washington because, or you know what, or Maine. I like both. Washington for like the forests and like the Pacific Northwest kind of vibe, and then I like Maine for the rainy kind of like beach aspect of it. I don't know why, but I just think that both of those are incredibly stunning, and I would have a really hard time choosing between the two. Next one is, let's see, what's my favorite dessert? My favorite dessert is, I don't know, like I like I like desserts, but I'm not picky. So really any dessert. But I guess like cake of some sort. I really, really like cake. I like fluffy cake. How can I be tall like you? Because me jumping on counters for my age is getting to be ridiculous. I don't know. Wear really, really big high heels. Although I have to say that high heels to add height, it takes a while. It's like a learning curve. And I don't wear them because I'm already 5'10", but I hear that those are pretty helpful. If you could turn into any animal, what would it be and why? It would be a bear. So once again, I think they're just beautiful and majestic. And if not a bear, I would like to be something that can fly, because I would love to be able to fly somewhere new and then turn back into a human and be in the new place. Can you touch your toes? I can't, and I'm super close to the floor. I cannot. Like, I can touch my toes when I'm sitting down, obviously, but like bending over and touching your toes, no, I'm really, really, really not flexible. Book you're most intimidated to read. That is hands down It by Stephen King. I'm super nervous. There's so much hype around it with all the movies and stuff that have been coming out, that are coming out, and like all these people who are kind of like getting on the Stephen King hype train by like reading it recently and falling in love with him. I'm genuinely afraid that I'm going to hate it. So I haven't read it yet, and I'm really nervous about reading it. Do you believe in ghosts? I absolutely 100% do. When I lived with my old friend Rachel, we're not friends anymore, but when I used to live with her and her family in high school, I slept in her brother's room. Like, her brother didn't live there anymore. He was off to college, and I slept in his room, and I shit you not, it literally felt like there was something under my bed that just shoved my bed up, and my bed raised like 5 inches off the ground. I was like screaming. I like immediately ran into her room and slept with her that night. Like, I 100% believe that ghosts exist, and I believe that they exist in more so in certain places. I feel like there's like a veil, like a weak part of the veil that they come over from, and I feel like a lot of them are in typically spooky places. Like when you go into a kind of creepy place, or even if like the old house that I used to live in before I moved in here, I swear to God there was a ghost that lived there, because you could tell that sometimes things were really, really great, and then just all of a sudden there was like a dark cloud that would come down, and it was like, it would affect like our animals, it would affect me and my ex-husband, like it would affect people that were over, and it was like you could tell there was something there. And I honestly, truly 100% believe that ghosts exist. What's your favorite video game? Currently Elder Scrolls Online. My favorite video games of all time, however, like hands down, are the Fable series. I love them. Current favorite song, album, or artist? I'm really into Khalid. I've been listening to him pretty much nonstop over the last like 6 months. Everything that he's come out with, I've loved. Everything that he is releasing, I am just here for. Khalid is amazing. If you have not listened to him, you should. It's spelled Khalid. I just am blown away by his talent, and he's so young, and his music has so much meaning and value to it, and people aren't sleeping on him. He's definitely very popular, and I'm so glad to hear that, because he deserves it. He is wonderful. And it says, do you have any favorite fan art? No, I actually don't really do fan art, because I tend to picture people the way that I picture them in my head, and if I see fan art, it often ruins it for me. I will say right here, I think, there are all of my Fake Crate Polaroids, and those are sent in the Fake Crate boxes, and they are Polaroids, like they're supposed to look like Polaroids from specific books, and the artists that they get to do them, there's so many of them, and they are all beautiful and stunning. And when it comes to like favorite fan art that I like received or would purchase, it's definitely those. I think that they are absolutely, absolutely beautiful. And my favorite artist though is my friend Victoria. I'll leave her website down below. It's called The Little Bookling. She does all of her art hand drawn. If you've seen my I don't know, I've like kind of showed off some of the stuff that she's done for me, and she's just such a great artist, and I love it, and like I want to get it printed and framed, and all of her stuff is gorgeous. I'll leave little pictures here on the screen for you guys, but she is wonderful, and she does all of it herself, and I love her drawings and like her style as well. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this vlog. I need to get this edited. I do have some plans today, and I just kind of want to wrap up and be able to take care of all of that. So I love you guys immensely. Thank you for being subscribed to me and staying with me. I have been feeling very grateful recently to the community and the people in my life that I have met, and just the love and support, and I wanted to thank you guys for that. It truly means so much more to me than I'm able to accurately describe. But I hope you have a good week since you're seeing this on a Tuesday. If you're seeing this any other day, I hope you are having a good week or had a good week. I love you so incredibly much, and I will see you in my next video.